Saludos amigos, mi nombre es Mar Nieves y hoy tengo el honor y el privilegio de hablar con el director de la nueva película de horror, Dear David. Aquí hablo con John McPhail. John, how are you doing? I
Hey,
hope I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. So how are you doing?
I know you got it spot on, spot on.
Thank you so much. So basically, I was looking through your IMDb and I noticed that you're the director of Anna and the Apocalypse. I love that movie because it
Oh,
was such a weird combination of having a Christmas movie with a with a musical and a zombie apocalypse. So it was cool. It's really, really cool. So if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Since we're almost there in the Christmas time, so it's very, very good movie. So let's talk about Dear David. Dear David, I was looking for some information about the movie, and it's based on a true story of Adam Ellis, who used to work for BuzzFeed. So how did you get this script? And also, I noticed that BuzzFeed is also kind of producing the movie. So how great was having their feedback on this project?
so the script came to me because the producer of Anna and the Apocalypse had been
Mm,
working with BuzzFeed, and this horror script had come up. They were looking for a director, and he'd said to me like, "You should read it and see if you like it, and then pitch for it." So I read it, and I was like, "Oh, I know this story. I remember this story from
mhm, mhm.
2017." So yeah, no, that was great. And BuzzFeed, yeah, I mean it's just cool. Is it BuzzFeed Studios? They've got like a reach that I think that is going to be unmatched. You know, with putting a film out, you know, with the audience that they have. So yeah, so this is going to be good fun.
Very cool. No, yeah, it's really nice. And also, I noticed that most of these movies, I want to go this first because I know we're short on time. But I have one. I have six cats. I noticed that cats are like the best weapon against anything ghost, demonic, or everything. So why should people own a cat? Because I noticed that this is very important to to keep safe for all of this.
My dog is not going to be happy about this. um, but yeah, like so I Adam in the script, like in the in real life had two cats. So it was, that we were like, oh, we're gonna play it, yeah, and because I want the audience, the 12th thread to feel included in this as well, and I'm sure like everybody loves cats. I mean,
Yeah.
some people don't like cats, but most folk, like particularly, are like we've all seen "Don't Fuck with Cats," right?
Yeah.
I've seen it. So like the idea of having like of losing an animal like that from like people's hearts that were already there. Like I kind of wanted the full package. So like two cats, we had to do it, and they were great fun. The cats they were. It was Puffin and Penguin. One would always run away, the other one would stay. So whenever you're trying to get them to stay, it'd be a nightmare. If you were trying to get them to run away, it'd be a
Yeah.
nightmare.
I think so. Yeah, I have a couple of cats, and it's not easy. So going back to the horror thing, I think horror is always one of those genes and that everybody likes. I think this year has been also a great year for horror. There also comes like a few movies that keep everybody talking about it, even though and this during summer it has been kind of on and off with box office. But we noticed that horror is always constant. Why do you think people love horror movies so much, and what do you think that it keeps bringing back to these theme kind of movies?
I think it helps people face their fears. But like why do you go on a roller coaster? You go on it for a thrill. You know that your body's going to go. "Whoa," you're going to be like like why? It's the thrill of it, and it's facing those fears. It's and as well as that, there's a lot of truth I think in horror. Like and I think that you can explore the genre of trauma like really really well and be able to sort of like battle those sort of demons and we all have those demons and all have those traumas and particularly again not like horror audiences that sort of like embrace it and sort of like go along with it and they as well as the fun like
Yeah.
horror is fun like when else do you get to have like a kid's brain pulsating and then splatting on a guy's face and go that like that's fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's a little bit grotesque. I love that. Like that's something that I love is as I say being grossed out. Like because you go you know, like it's a weird feeling. Um, and I think with the, as I say, with the genre, there's a lot of ways of saying try to explore trauma, and for audiences to explore that and explore it with somebody else and somebody they can root for. You know, somebody that they, you know, like they can try and get through the adversity or, you know, fail at it. You know, like regardless of what that is. And then you've got the comedy horrors as well that you
Yeah.
just that just tickle you and frighten you and gross you out. And yeah, um, it's for me, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite genres. Like I love it and I love playing in it.
Yeah. I also think because since the budget is not that big, you're more open to do original stuff. You can be like, we have the big studio lurching over what we're doing. We can do this stuff. We can play with this, and I think that's the cool thing about horror. That's kind of independent. Where the director, the writers, and everybody can say we can do this. We can do this. I think that's the thing we should that allows more playfulness for the creators.
No, totally. Well, obviously this is a studio film, so this was my first time working in like that studio system or like US studio system, and that's you know a learning experience in itself. It's something I'm was lucky to be able to go through and do. So that has been a lot of fun, particularly because I've done like independent horror films where like, you know, it's been a little bit, you know, easy, but a little bit more free of all that sort of thing. But again, you know, as that progression for me, I want to make studio films. I want to work in the studio system. I want to do these kind of things. So this was a really great experience to be able to do that.
That's very cool. Well, thank you so much for everything, John. I hope we're the best for you. You have here a friend here in Puerto Rico. We could keep talking about cats and dogs and horror here, but I know
Aye.
we're strict on time. And also, I want to also congratulate you with Anna and the Apocalypse. I love Anna and the Apocalypse. I can highly recommend it. I did a whole podcast dedicated to it a couple of years ago. It's very fun. And also, to let everybody know that Dear David is going to be available on Friday the 13th, cool day of October. So you can watch it on your house with your friends, do a party, and have fun. Again, John, thank you so much and have a good day. Anything else you want to say to the people in Puerto Rico?
But thanks very much, Mark, and like thanks to the people of Puerto Rico who are supporting the film and going out and seeing it. Muchas gracias.
Eso, eh. All right, thank you so much. And then, todo el mundo ya sabe, si le gustó la entrevista, dale like, dale share, suscríbanse y les recomiendo, vean Dear David, muy buena la película, así pendiente de otras redes para notar la reseña. Y si quieren un poquito más de horror, Alien the Apocalypse, muy buena película, un clásico de horror. Thank you so much, John.
Thanks, dude.